When I was younger, I remember being a teenager and not caring too much about having a clean study space. With school, sports, and console games occupying most of my day, I didn't spend much time at my desk anyways. Yet as I got older and progressively spent more and more time sitting in front of a computer screen, the value of having an efficient desk setup started becoming more apparent. When I arrived at university, no one was there to spoon feed me information or tell me exactly what I had to do to pass the test. To perform well required you to put in the effort, go beyond what you saw in lectures, and start researching information for yourself. I needed a study space where I could concentrate, get in the zone, and work effectively. At first, I thought it was as simple as finding a table, getting my notes out, and begin working. But it's never that simple. It's not always easy to stay focused. Our environment makes it hard for us to do so because it's filled with constant distractions, whether that be social media notification trying to draw us back to our devices, or the accessibility of YouTube, Netflix, and video games that are only a click away. Procrastination seems to get the better of us even when we know we should be studying. By creating a workspace that encourages you to be productive, I believe that you can get all your work done while still having the time to enjoy the things you love. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Sebastian, a medical student from Australia. And in this video, I'll be sharing with you some tips on how to create a productive workspace. With many of us now studying and working from home, it's becoming increasingly difficult to stay focused because no one is there to hold us accountable. It's up to us to make efficient use of our time, and I think organizing your desk setup is the first thing to doing just that. Before we begin, I just wanted to say that these tips are not instructions for what you should exactly follow. These are just principles that have helped me create a more productive environment in medical school, and some of which I hope you can employ in creating your own study space. Make it comfortable. So with any work and study space, it needs to be comfortable. You need to be relaxed when you're there, and because you're going to be spending so many hours in the day at that spot, it needs to be something that you enjoy being in. So the first thing to make it comfortable is to ensure that you have a clean, organized workspace. If there's dust or some coffee stains on the table, clean them up. As weird as it sounds, I think that if your desk and your environment is clean, your mind will think more clearly and you'll be more focused. You need to be thinking about your lighting, and if possible, it's important to try use natural light, so that means putting your desk near a window so that you can get some fresh light coming in the morning. If that's not possible, then it's important to try organize some lighting equipment, maybe a lamp or something to try light up any dark spots so that you're not straining your eyes when you're reading texts or when you're doing tasks. I'd recommend getting a bulb or a lamp that has different brightness settings so that you can adapt it according to the time of the day. In order to make it comfortable, you need a good chair. This is what you're going to be sitting on for hours and hours, and if the chair's not comfortable, you are definitely not going to enjoy sitting there. I'd suggest choosing a chair that has lower back support to ensure that you have good posture in the long run. And I'd also suggest, if possible, to get an armchair so that you have something to lean on when you're feeling more tired. And following this idea of constantly moving, I'd suggest getting a standing desk. For me, I don't have one. I enjoy my L-shaped desk, but if I had to upgrade or if I had to change, getting a standing desk will allow you to get a second wind by standing up, by getting the blood flowing, and it's also better for your general health as well. As humans, we're not designed to be sitting down for prolonged periods of time, so being able to stand up and move around, that's really helpful in the long run. Make it easy. The first step into doing this is to create an environment where its sole function, its sole purpose is to work, is to study. That way your brain will be conditioned to go into that environment and then being focused and then being switched on. It's also good because when you finish your study or work session and you come away from that study environment, your brain will disassociate from doing work and you'll be able to relax more effectively. And to help you with this, it's important to get rid of any obvious distractions. And that can be in the form of removing shortcuts to games or social media, to turning off your notifications on your phone, putting your phone on silent mode, or even putting your phone out of the room altogether. I find using the Pomodoro method to set study blocks for yourself is a good way to compartmentalize your study into short, energized bursts. Tomato Timer and Forest are some apps that I enjoy using for setting my timer, and that way I can focus in those 50 minutes that I've set for myself, and then I can check my notifications and have a short break for 5 to 10 minutes afterwards. You also want to choose a study space that is quiet, so any noise distractions will be removed. If that's not possible, I like to listen to music while I'm studying. Lo-fi, cafe sounds, anything of that sort. It really helps me stay focused for prolonged periods of time. My friends also tell me that using noise-cancelling headphones are particularly useful for getting rid of any noise distractions. And that can be a worthwhile investment if you really need that quietness. Making it easy means having quick access to items that you're using all the time. And that can be your water bottle so that you're hydrated, a box of tissues in case you need to blow your nose, and having sound controls nearby so you don't have to fiddle around with volume. Have your pens, pencils, and paper nearby if you're one to write notes. Having an organized desk setup for the things that you use commonly is really important in saving time and making it easy. And finally, you want to replace equipment that's causing you problems. You want your equipment to help you be more efficient and not cause any friction between your work ethic and your work output. What I mean by this is that if you've had a laptop for 5 years and it's been slowing you down, causing trouble, the A key's not working properly, I'd suggest replacing it. It doesn't mean that it has to be the most expensive or newest device, but one that won't break your flow. The time that you should replace something is when something's causing you an obvious problem, like a 10-second delay when you type, or speakers that are making like a loud static sound that's just unpleasant to your ears. Replace items that are slowing you down, but don't spend too much money on things that you don't need. As long as your items are working and not breaking your flow, it'll make the experience of studying more enjoyable and easier to do. Make it yours. That's the most important thing about creating your own study space. You can make it unique, you can make it fun to be in, make it different, make it yours. I'm someone who likes to keep things tidy and organized, so having a relatively minimalistic study space is really useful for me. But I also like to have other things on my desk, like my little Lee Sin figure, some fake plants, and this little penguin to help break up the monotony of my white desk and black electronics. But if you're someone who likes to have everything around you, you might want to have your notes handy or textbooks that are easily accessible. Organize them correctly and mold your study behaviors to the desk setup. It could be as simple as including a little plush toy, a figurine, plants, photos of family and friends. Anything that makes you feel like you belong in the space. That's the advantage of studying at home compared to being in a library or being in an office. It's familiar, it's pleasant to be in, it has character. Another thing to think about is where you study. Everyone's different, and if you prefer not having a fixed location to always be in, and instead you like to move around the house, change location, and be flexible, do that instead. It's all about finding a system that fits your workflow so that you're drawn to working in that space. I believe that your environment shapes your behavior, and it's one of the strongest drivers to get you working, especially when internal motivation is low. So when it comes to studying, making the environment comfortable, making it easy, making it yours, these are the things that will boost your productivity and help you incorporate good study habits. Because at the end of the day, the extra time that we save by working hard at our desks will mean extra time to do the things we love. If you enjoyed the video, remember to hit that like button and to subscribe to see more content like this. I have plenty more videos about study tips on my channel, and I'll link a video on my own study desk setup in case you wanted to check it out. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, this was Sebastian. Stay sharp.
Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Everyone always keep falling in love again.